What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode. Welcome to episode 2 of the truck build. In today's episode, we're going to cover the long-awaited tray. You've seen plenty of it on social media while it was getting built and all that kind of stuff. So now we'll run a bit of an in-depth look and I'll tell you specs and all that kind of stuff. So the tray is 3.7 total length, 2.2 wide, and usable space, taking off the tyres, inside the bed there is 3100. It's got, and I went with a flat floor, so it's not divoted, and we'll see when we get in there. And the reason for that is, eventually, next year, end of the year, we're going to build a camper, and I wanted a flat base for it to sit on. So we'll pull the tyres out, we'll pull the drawer out, we'll get the awning out, and I'll give you a full run through of how, why, a few specs, a bit of cost. I'll go through the cost now. Now before you get in the comments and go, I could have done it cheaper and whatever else, as it sits here, I think, off the top of my head, I think it was 33 grand. Now, I got quotes, don't worry, they're all the same. It's just the size of it. It's fully alley, except there's a steel subframe, and we'll see that in a minute. There was a lot of design and engineering in the headboard design, and the reason we went that, I don't want to be left without my tyres. I didn't want to put a tyre underneath, because I thought it would have hung too low, and I didn't want to bolt a tyre to the back of my camper. Just didn't do it for me. I'm always a fan of, if you've got the room, the ute always had 2 spares on it. Probably could have got away with 1 tyre, but I wanted tyres always on there. Pull the camper off, you can still drive away and you've still got tyres. And I've still got maximum departure angle. So, I guess without further ado, we'll get stuck into it. I'll even get the tyre off, show you how easy it is. Get the awning out in a sec, and then we'll have a bit of a look in the boxes and things like that, and then the subframe and the water tanks. So, yeah, I'll do all this in real time. It takes bugger all to get the wheels out and shit, so I'll show you how to do it. There you have it. Now the reason I did it this way, those tyres probably weigh 90 kilos each. There was no way in hell I was going to be able to lift that on and off the tray, and I thought this was the best option. I'm still unsure of this, but we can always cut it down and modify it. That was my theory behind it. I'm not going to show you how to get the other side down because it's exactly the same. I'll probably put some kind of device up there to mount max tracks. I was going to put max tracks on the roof, but if you've ever seen a truck and how high they are, they're bloody tall. It's like 3.1 meters or something. It's quite tall. So to get max tracks off the roof, or treads or whatever brand, it was a bit of a nightmare, so that's why I haven't done that yet. But I might come up with a bit of a plan and put them in there. But yeah, as you can see, that's bloody easy to use. Took literally 2 minutes. Might be a bit harder to get it off there. And I could always shorten the leg if I had to. Yeah, I could always cut the leg off and redo it. But that's another job for later. We'll get the awning out now. Now, you're gonna laugh at me because I have to use a ladder. It's still too tall. We are gonna chop it down and modify it, make it a bit ladder, but make it a bit shorter, but that was just a kind of for now thing. So it's a Bush Company 270 XT awning. And I thought it was the biggest awning on the market and the strongest. I'm not getting into an awning debate. But I thought it was the best on the market anyway. So we'll get it out now in real time. I might stop it while I go and get the ladder. And you'll see how it comes out. And there you have it, 270 degrees of shade. And it took like a minute by myself. And I'm not the tallest bloke ever, but we're kind of on a lean. And I did it that way just to show you how easy it was to do. I was planning on buying maybe a wall kit, but Bush Company is fucking expensive for their wall kit. It's like $2.5 grand. And I really only just like one or two. So I might just go to a local canvas guy and buy one. Now the reason for the Bush Company, it had the highest rating of wind, the strongest, well I thought anyway. It didn't even come with fold up poles. It didn't even come with tie down ropes. You could put them on. It's got options for them. I guess that's just for the rain runoff and things like that. But I'll get the other camera and I'll show you how strong it is. Now I'm not a small guy. I'm not a large guy. I'm not an average guy. I probably weigh 110 kilos and I'll show you I can swing off this main beam and you'll go, okay, sold. Was quite heavy. I think it's around the 28 kilo mark. 38. One of them. It's bloody heavy. Cost, definitely not cheap. Freight was the killer. And I bought it locally off Midland 4 Drive Centre. I think it was $2,800 delivered to there. Yeah, it's cheaper on their website, but put in $200 freight. And yeah, so it works out exactly the same. So, like I said, I'll grab the other camera and I'll show you how I can swing off it. It's quite bloody solid for what it is, and that's why I bought it. Really happy with it, and we've only used it a couple of times, and like you've seen before, it's literally a minute to pack up, maybe a minute and a half to put it down once you deal with rolling it up and stuff. But I'll obviously get quicker at that. I guess we'll move on to the side toolboxes and rear toolboxes. So we'll jump in this rear drawer now. Now, I opted for a really big rear drawer. Now our plan is, for the next however long, this is pretty much going to be our cooking and pantry. We've got, you know, it fits everything we need. There's a barbecue, there's a couple of storage things for pots and pans, there's all my knives. Yeah. And that was our original goal, was to cook out of this for the next. And it's always handy when we don't have the camper on. You can still go down the beach and everything is in the back here. It's a dust-proof, waterproof drawer, and it's about 1,500 long and probably 300 or so deep. So it's definitely a decent sized drawer. And that's what I opted for, that's what I wanted. It does in turn lift your tray up, but I guess you can't have everything. Well, you probably can, but yeah. So yeah, that's why we opted for the rear drawer. Now this is going to be the ultimate test. The wind's kind of swung, blowing straight southerly, so see if the awning holds up. Should do. Should do. But I might just put a little strap on it, just to be on the safe side, because I don't want it to be a week old and it goes under. I'd rather put a strap on to be safe than sorry. They say they're rated for like 50 km/h winds, but not directly facing into it. And kind of at the moment we are facing into it, so thought I'd put a strap on just to be on the safe side. We'll move on to the side toolboxes now. You won't be able to see much in there, but they're massive. They're both identical, obviously. In this one, we've decided to put our recovery gear. There's a few tool rolls down the bottom, and then there's a compressor up here. And I'll just unkink that airline. Yeah, there's twin compressors, twin compressors. So I've got two TJM compressors on either, one on either side. And on this side here, in the rear box, I've got a 10 meter retractable airline. That's about it, I think, for this side. The sides, the good thing about the sides and the rear hoop, I forgot to mention the rear hoop. The rear hoop actually pulls out. It's on a little bolt system. So there is enough room to put the buggy on the back, and to get it off, you just pop the hoop out and you can drive the buggy up. That was another idea behind being 3.7 long. Yes, it is long, but it's no longer than the hitch. Yeah, I've got a Gen Y hitch, so it adds probably 300 in there-ish. But it's still no longer than, it's actually shorter than my hitch, so that's a good thing if you ask me. The good thing about the sides is, if you want to leave the front on, you can. If you want to take the back off, you can still leave the front in, because it's got like a divider in here, and you can just leave one side on, take one side off, which I thought that was all part of the design phase. That's what I wanted, because it was just easier, I thought. Jump around the box on the other side is basically, it's exactly the same. Put it down. I want to leave all the wiring long, so they're full length harnesses at the moment, just so I could get a feel for where I wanted it all and change a few things later, which I'll probably end up making a battery mount for the chassis, because there's heaps of room up under there where the spare tire would go, and then it gives me back my whole box. There's 3 140 litre water tanks, and I can opt to swap a water tank for diesel later on if I want to, but I'm getting pretty good fuel economy now. I'm getting about 1200 k's to 280 litres, so I think that's pretty decent. That's about it, really. It's on a kinetic subframe, but we'll go around this side and look at it, because I don't really like standing in the sun if I don't have to. Shut this up. And all these locks central locking with and it works on the fob for the car, so can't complain with that. Now in here, this is Westoz's kinetic mount system. So they're basically just the two C channels with a, I think it's nylon in there, and then a spring, so the tray can actually move up to 1 inch when you flex. As you can see, all the water tanks are plumbed in together, and you can either fill it up from the tap or fill it up from, there's a filler and a breather, which I've just found it easier just to fill it up direct from the tap. Just seems to work easier. Now the reason the tray is so high, because of the water tanks in the rear drawer. I can opt to go less water and have slimline tanks, but I basically wanted the extra range. You know, there's 340 odd litres in there. 380 odd litres. That's decent. Yeah. I wanted that for extended. The tray come in at 700 kilos without water in there, and then yeah, whatever it weighs. I haven't weighed it with water, but it'll be pretty accurate. That's about it. Yeah, if you want to know anything else, let me know. I'll drop Westoz's details somewhere. And thanks for watching. Smash that subscribe button. It helps me out. Internal, get more videos out. You know, I don't make enough to quit my job on YouTube, and I probably never will. I do it for, I don't know why I do it sometimes. I do it for you guys. It's kind of interesting, and I like it. I do it for a bit of fun. I don't do it to go, you know, I'm the latest and greatest, and I do it because I enjoy it. I enjoy getting out there, and I may as well take a camera and slap a video together for 5 minutes. But anyway, thanks for watching. Any comments, you know the drill. Smash them down below and I'll get back to you. Thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.